Hello, my crafty friends. Well, today I want to do a piece on one of these boards. I found these wipe-off boards. There were a set of them. There were three of these, and then this clock, and they're all kind of MDF type boards, and they were $1 at the thrift store. So I took one of them and I sanded it, trying to make it smooth, less slick, so I can glue stuff down on it. And the sanding cleaned it up real nicely, but it's still slick. So I don't know if it's going to work or not, but that's what we're going to use. And then I've got some ephemera stuff that I've gathered from different places, and we're going to use those for our background. And we're going to use, I think, her, but I'm going to wait till I get the background down and check, because I might use her. I think these are both really cute cards, and either one of them would make a nice focal point. Because of where the chickens are, I think this one will be easier to tear down and use. So I'm pretty sure this is the one I'm going to use, but I've got this one out just in case. And I've got some smaller bits of ephemera, these ration card things, and then these coupon checks that I'm going to put in after we get the bigger pieces down. And so what I've got here's a piece of ledger, and this is the record of the mileage from that ration book, and a piece out of a shorthand book, and some hem paper, and a recipe card. And this is some kind of French document. And then this is the page that was right here in this book. So we're going to start with these things, and they're different weights of paper, different colors of paper, and I think all of that will add the interest that I'm wanting. And I'm going to go ahead and put them over the edge, and then I'm going to sand them off the edge, because I think that will give it a nicer finish. So okay, it's not. I was going to say, it feels like it's 2 pages, but it's not. It's just got this. So we'll do it this way. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue these down with my, where is it? With my Mod Podge Elmer's Glue All mixture, because it's my favorite thing to decoupage type stuff with. So and we're going to just start with that first piece. And I want to make sure that I got enough glue on here, because I do want it to stick down nicely. It's slipping on me a little bit here. I don't usually have that trouble with this glue all mixture, Mod Podge glue all mixture, but all right, come on. Okay, let me clean this up so I won't stick it down while I'm trying to work on it. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I've got a nice coat over it, that it's really glued down there good. The ink is moving a little, so I need to stop. Now I'm debating with this one, you know, I like I think I want to tear it just a little bit down here because I think that'll look nicer and be more interesting. But that means I need to put whatever's going to be underneath it down next. Okay, I'm going to put, I should have auditioned this stuff like I normally do. Today, for some reason, I decided to just go for it and start gluing stuff down. Wouldn't be my recommendation. It's not what I normally do, but it's what I'm doing. Okay, and I was trying to decide about do I want to put anything this direction, but I think I'm going to. But I think I want something darker. Let's do this. And I wish I had torn those edges a little bit too, because they're pretty straight. But we are now going to do things however we do them. All right, I want to get some of this music paper on here, so let's go ahead and do that real quick. Okay, I don't think I put glue down there though. Nope, nope, nope. This is going to be a mess, isn't it? But I want some different colors and textures. And I was putting something up there that was the same, so much the same color and stuff, that I don't think it would have been. Remember, this is just a background. It's not like we're going to be reading these papers, so. Okay. Okay, we're going to go ahead and put this, which is part of that same paper, but just a different section of it here. And put our music paper right here. do want it going off the edges. Sorry, I just realized you can't see the bottom. Okay, scooch it up there. Let's move this down a little bit too. Okay. I'm even going to turn this this way. Because the only thing that's not turned the way it would normally be is this page, and I don't want that piece. I don't want that to be the only one, so. Let's scooch that up a little bit. And we're going to put this right here. Okay, now I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to let this dry a little bit, and then we'll take off the, well, I'm going to let it dry a lot actually. And then we're going to take off the edges. Changed my mind. I decided I wanted to go ahead and add some of these bits to it, and that's got a number which I think would be interesting. So we're going to add it in too, and it may not show up depending on where we put the picture and how much I take off the picture, but I think it'll be good to go ahead and put these down at the same time. And got some of these. I don't think I need so many, maybe. Let's see. Let's do it right there. Okay. Now we're going to let it dry. Okay. Well, that was dry, and I went looking for some words because I think I want some words, and I came up with these two. This one says every moment matters, and this one says every day is a second chance. And I'm not sure, but I like the font of this one, but I like this one because this is obviously capturing a moment, just a moment in time where a little bird and a little girl sat there together. And it's a moment that matters. It brought joy. So I think that's probably the one I'm going to use, even though I like this one as well. But I'm going to wait until we get closer to that point before I make that decision. Right now, we're at the sanding it off stage. And this may not be rough enough sandpaper, I'm not sure. It's a fine grit sanding block. And I'm just trying to sand off the edges because I think they'll look nicer that way. But it's not working very fast, is it? Part of it's because the glue went all the way over out there. Ooh, okay. I thought this was plenty dry, but it's a possibility that it's really not dry enough. My arm is kind of, whoops. My arm is kind of sticking to it. So let's continue on here. If it doesn't work well, I'll go get something else. But this I had right here. I really think I need something rougher than that. So I'm going to pause once again and go find some. Okay, this is going to give us the finish I'm wanting. It is messy. So oh dear. Well, let's go back over here. We may have to go save that other side till I can re-glue it down. But the point was to roughen it up a little bit, so. Okay, let's go down only with this one. Okay, we did mess it up a little bit, but let me get this off here. So right down here, yeah, right there, that's going to have to be re-glued down. And I'm just going to put some art glitter glue under it. Because that will glue quickly. Okay. There we go. So there's our board. Okay, and what I want to do now is kind of push all this back but I don't want to completely cover it up. And I've got this. It's called Milky White. I think this is the right one. I tried out three of them over here to the side, and this was I think the most translucent one, and I want to use it instead of using gesso, because I don't want to put white down. So whoops. Okay, well, let's just, I think I'm actually gonna, let's just put it all over the whole thing. Let me get a brush. That'll be easier. Now that I've made a mess, I want to do it quickly because I want to wipe off some of it. This is I'm also going to go, I'm going to do something else on the edges. I think I'm going to put some copper on the edges, so I'm not that worried about it, but I'm going to go ahead and paint it a little bit on the edges because the copper will probably stick better to a painted surface. So and I know what you're thinking, Lacey, you better hurry and get that paint off or it's not going to come off. And I'm a little concerned. I'm a little concerned I might have waited too long, but I may be taking off more than I want to. Okay, I think we're going to stop right there. I don't want to take off so much that it's kind of like I didn't put any on. So we'll let this dry, and we may end up adding another coat that's a little darker in some places because it's easier to add a little more than to not be able to take it off if you want to take it off. So we're going to let that dry a little bit. Clean this up a little. And this is Master's Touch Milky White. I was looking for it unbleached titanium when I bought this, and it wasn't easy to find. In this particular brand, they didn't have one that was unbleached titanium. They have this dark titanium white. And I may add a little bit of this, but it is, well, you can't really tell in the camera. Let me change the camera. See if, no, you still can't tell. Anyway, it is quite a bit darker and not quite as translucent as that one. So I don't know if I'll use that or if I'll use something else, but right now we're going to let this dry. Okay. I'm fixing to try something now that is a little scary. So I've got these inks. I'm trying to see what they're called. Walnut ink. I mean, that's the brand, but this one's terracotta, this one's Java, this one's eucalyptus, and this one's walnut. I think I want to use the eucalyptus and the terracotta. And my plan is to spray them on and then wipe them off. I don't know how it's going to work. So we're going to start with the terracotta just because. And let's see if we can. Okay. That's interesting. Maybe I should dry it just a second. Okay, and we're going to try the eucalyptus and see what happens. You can tell the different places, you know, it's different strengths in different places, and I kind of like that. Well, okay, come on. Seriously? Just one? Is that all I'm going to get? Okay. Well, where I sprayed that one, it didn't really stick at all. So let's try walnut. Okay. I've got quite a bit of ink on this. I'm thinking that it might be better to let it sit a minute and let's try spraying it with water and see what will happen. Okay. All right, that's not really what I was looking for. So let's just see what happens if we wipe it back. Okay, well, we haven't ruined it. That's what I was, that's the main thing. Okay, I think before we add anything else to it, I'm going to let it dry. No, I really want something darker, but it does need to dry a little bit. So let's dry it a minute. Okay, I'm going to add some Distress Oxide because this has some blue in it and some brown. So I'm going to do a little bit with Distress Oxide, Stormy Sky, and Vintage Photo. And then we're going to let it really set before we do anything else to it. So I'm going to start with this one. We'll just see what happens. Okay. I'm liking adding the blue. I don't usually like these Distress Oxides because they're not permanent. But in this case, I was wanting to be able to get them off if I didn't like them. So and they're subtle. I like that. I don't know if you can even tell. But I like that one. And I'm going to go ahead and add some of this vintage photo. And we're going to do it like we would if it was a, you know, a picture or something. And then we'll find some places inside to, and I still may go ahead and go around the edges of this with some copper. But that would just, you know, be actually the, and we may not, because it really looks nicely distressed just with what we're doing so far. So well, I don't want it. I do want there to be some browner parts. I don't want any, you know, obvious circles. Okay. So far, I think I'm really liking that. So we're going to stop right here today and let this really dry. And then I may spray some kind of workable fixative over it so that these don't come back up before we start next time. So this is just going to be part 1. I thought it would be the whole thing, but it's not. We're going to have a part 2. So I'll see you there. Bye-bye.